Hey, my dear friends, Agastya, and today I'm explaining you Understanding Secularism chapter. In this chapter, we're going to learn about the term secularism. Now, what is this? Our whole chapter evolves, in this particular term, secularism. Now, what does secularism means? Now, let's take example of India. India is a country which does not promote any religion as its official religion. All the religions, Muslims, like Islam, Hindu, Christians, Buddhism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism, all these, okay, all these religions are equal in a country like India because it is secular. But there are the times where you will be discriminated. Now, I am a Hindu and I live in US. US is a area, yeah, it is a secular country, but there Christian fundamentalism is very powerful. Christians are in a very large number. So obviously you could see some discrimination some or the other way. Similarly in India, let's take India's example. Now we have Hindus in a large number. If we go with Christians, here Christians might be kind of discriminated. I'm not saying all the Hindus will discriminate, but few of them, discrimination happens. Discrimination always happens on the grounds of religion. To stop this, our constitution has few rules which could safeguard, this people who are being discriminated on the grounds of religion. The term which says that all the religions are equal is secularism. Now we're going to learn about secularism, okay, and few objectives of it, and few other things in this chapter. History provides us with many examples of discrimination, exclusion, and persecution on the grounds of religion. Yeah, obviously. Go back to independence time. Why was there a partition between India and Pakistan? Because of religion. Muslims, Hindu, Islam, Hindu. And why again? What happened to Hitler now? If you go back to World War time, in that period, the Jews are persecuted in Hitler's Germany, and how several millions were killed. So we also understand about Israel. If you go to some other country, there would be fights between Muslims and Christians. Okay, so this is called as religious discrimination. I'm not saying one country discriminates other. That's the reason both discriminate each other. If one country starts, the other country continues it, and obviously the country which started will also continue along with the another country. This will again lead to wars, like how we have in India-Pakistan wars. Similarly, so to stop this, you have to practice a term called secularism. You have to be secular always because you're a part of a secular country, India. Now, what is secularism? So, in my words, I told that secularism. Like I took an example of India, a secular country or a state. Here, state means a country again. Don't think states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. A secular country or a state does not promote any religion as its official religion. That is secularism. That is a definition which you learned in the first chapter. So now, the Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices as they interpret this. If they don't want to be part of any religion, also they can, because Indian Constitution has provided that fundamental right. I hope you remember that fundamental right. Let me just again recall that fundamental right again for you. That fundamental right was right to freedom of religion, and we learned about this in the last chapter. So this was provided so that there could be no tyranny. Tyranny means, domination. Nothing but domination of majority on minorities. What happens is not only coming domination is in both the ways. It happens, in religions way, or it happens within the religion. Now in Hindu caste, like if I am a part of Hindu caste, the higher caste people will now could be Brahmanas, like of that time in the more ancient history time, like they ill-treated Shudras because it was told that Shudras were not educated. Okay, Dalits were also not provided with, what they need, like the rights which they also need. So what are these? Okay, these are the discrimination, or it can also be called as the domination of majority or tyranny of majority. But to stop this, okay, our Indian Constitution has adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Now here, the Indian Constitution is separating. Now, if there was nothing like a secularism, here the power of a state, the government, would obviously go in a religion manner. But our Indian Constitution provides something which separates the power of religion and power of state. So both are different now here. Both are separated. So that's the reason secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. Okay, this is also a nice definition for your term secularism. Now, why is it important to separate religion from the state? I'm telling you. Now, let me take examples of many wars are there. Okay, well, our country has separated, but still some or the other way the fight is being created. As it discussed above, the most important aspect of secularism is its separation of religion from state power. Now we'll learn why. This is important for a country to function democratically. I'll explain you. I'll give a gist of this. Now you are living in democracy. Democracy here, everyone has a rights. Like everyone can vote here. Everyone can cast their vote. Everyone has a right to speak up. Okay, they have their own rights, which are recommended by our Indian Constitution, isn't it? Now these rights, okay, if we don't have a term called secularism, if it was not there in our Constitution, obviously the majority would have taken, like the religion in many number would have taken that right, and the religion who is in like minorities could be. Now if you go to US, Hindus and Muslims are in a very less numbers. It's something like they're in very less number, and obviously they could have been discriminated. To stop that, they have secularism over there. Similarly here, we Indian also have secularism so that all the religions could be equal. I hope you understood the point. So the tyranny of the majority could result in the discrimination. I told you. Okay. And discrimination, coercion, and at times even the killing of the religious minorities many times happen. You go and see, like it is reported that some Dalit was killed in Gujarat. Yeah, the news came because he was of lower caste. So yeah, because the tyranny leads to the discrimination at last. It leads to the killing or a murder of religious minorities or the minorities within the particular religion. So this is not only happening in India but happening all around the world. Now another reason it is important to separate religion from the state is democratic societies is because we also need to protect the freedom of. Yeah, now I told you the cast the vote. Let me take that example. Now if we didn't have the word called secularism, might be, and now only just taking an example, might be only Christians had a right to vote in America, and who are the Indian American citizens, they might not have a right to vote because they are Indians, they are from Hindus or Muslims, something like that. So like to provide the right to vote, to provide the person to cast his vote, we have a something called secularism, not only for right to vote and all, but for other opportunities too. Now if we talk about job opportunities, like obviously if secularism word was not there, the people who are in majority would get the jobs, but the people who are in less numbers wouldn't get the job. I hope you understood the point. Now these members who have control of state power might say that there is only one interpretation of Hinduism, that you do not have the freedom to interpret this differently. Now I'll tell you, there are three objectives of Indian secularism. No one should violate it. Okay, not public, but main politicians should not violate it. Politicians or any famous personalities who are known should never violate it. Like, or a famous personality of a particular religion. Like, let me take an example over here. Another religious community cannot dominate. For example, Hindus cannot dominate Muslims. That is the first objective. Like, one religious community cannot dominate another. Okay, and some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. Means this talks about the discrimination within the communities, like how we had with that time OC. No, not OC, not exactly OCs. Like the higher caste were discriminating the Dalits and Adivashis. Yes, and the state does not enforce any particular religion. Means a particular country or a state, if a particular state government or a country government should not promote any religion, because we are living in a secular country. Okay, here all the religions are equal, you know. So the Indian state works in various ways to prevent their domination. First, it uses a strategy of distancing itself from revision. Sorry, religion. Yeah, religion. I went with revision. Religion. The Indian state is not ruled by a religious group. Yes, because the India is a secular country. It is ruled by the government, who are in turn chosen by the people. Okay, here everyone is equal. Here all the religions are equal. That is a main objective of India. Now, in the above storyboard, okay, here is a story. Let me read it out for you. Quite a rush. In a government school in Simapur, students want to celebrate a religious festival. Now, they went and asked one of, like the teacher, can we celebrate? Oh, now, let me take Dashera. Can we celebrate Dashera? Now, teacher said, we are from a government school and we can't celebrate it because Dashera is a Hindu festival, and it is like you're promoting Hindu festivals, no, but you're not promoting Muslim festivals or Christian festivals or other festivals. Now, if similarly, if it applies, if anyone asks, can we celebrate Ramzan? Same explanation will be given in your government schools. Reason is that our Indian government, public holidays cannot be, celebrated. The public, why are public holidays given? Because we have festivals like Jamnashtami, Ramzan. These cannot be celebrated as, if one school celebrates Ramzan and another school celebrates Dashera, like it's like you're promoting, the particular school is promoting only Muslim festivals and another school is promoting Hindu festivals. So to prevent that, our government's policy is that all the religions are equal, secularism is there, so we should not promote any religious festivals, and all the religious festivals are public holidays. That's why I am in a private school, so I have these celebrations. I go to school, but I am very jealousy seeing my other friends in government school. They have always holidays on occasions of festivals like this. Yeah, so it's a small jealousy feeling, but leave it. Now here, there's one more thing. Now there's one more storyboard over here. Like the second way. Now this shows the second way. Like I'll tell you, in which Indian secularism works to prevent the about domination is about strategy of non-interference. Okay, this means in order to respect the sentiments of all religion, I'll tell you now. Now it is told that Sikhs, okay, they have to wear pagdi. Okay, it's called pugri. Yeah, it's called pugri, or I think pagdi is something. They have to wear that compulsory. So here there are two friends. Okay, one is Agastya and another is Paranjit. Let me take my name. Yeah. So now Agastya asked Paranjit, why are you not wearing helmet? Something like that. Like then this Paranjit has answered, don't worry, I'll not be caught by police because I have, we Sikhs can wear this pugri, and if we wear pugri, if we wear helmet, it could be we have to remove pugri. So government gave us such rule, something like that. So now here, obviously you may think that there's a discrimination, but this is not a discrimination. This is a sentiments which a government is obeying, because you have to obey. Secularism is not only the thing to prevent the discrimination. This is not the discrimination which affects the dignity of a person, but here whatever is there, here the government is obeying or respecting the sentiments or the particular rituals what a particular religion carry out. I hope you got the point. Now, this is a good example where members of the same religion, upper caste Hindus, dominate. Yeah, obviously it happens. Higher caste people dominate. They dominated Dalits and Adivashis over decades, not decades to be honest, 1,000 years. Yeah, that is told in your books also. But we got a good ruler, like, not a ruler to be honest, he's a great leader. That is Ambedkar ji. Because of him, the secularism, okay, there is no discrimination in between upper caste and lower caste, and Indian constitution also banned untouchability. This was a fantastic moment, to be honest, for the lower caste, because they were also given some of the importance. Now the state is intervening, and if in instance, for example, a particular state, a particular country, like now let me take an example of Telangana. I'm just taking an example. In religion, in order to end a social practice that it believes discriminates and excludes, and that violates the fundamental right of lower caste who are citizens of the country. Now here, if right to constitutional remedies, I think, if this is a fundamental right called equality, right to equality has been violated, and you can go and complain about the particular government. Now, similarly, to ensure that laws relating no equal inheritance rights are respected, the state may have the intervene in the religion-based personal laws of communities. The intervention of the state can also be in the form of a support. The Indian Constitution grants the right to religious communities to set up their own schools and colleges. It also gives them financial aid on a non-preferential basis. Now let's talk about US Constitution. Let's talk about its secularism and all. We also have a bit case study kind of thing over here, but yes, some of the above objectives are similar to those that have been included in the constitution of secular democratic countries, could be US. Now, the First Amendment of US Constitution prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibit the free exercise of religion. Now here, US also provided a value called secularism. Here all the religions are equal. They did an amendment. They did a change. Amendments, we have a lot of amendments. Indian amendments are nearly 105, something like that. Yeah, in the First Amendment, the US Constitution, it brought few steps like secularism into its constitution. So now, in USA, the separation between the state and religion means that neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. Get the point? No, it's something similar to Indian way of secularism. Yeah. And there is one significant way in which Indian secularism differs from the dominant understanding of secularism as practiced in the United States of America. This is because, unlike the strict separation between religion and the state in American secularism, in Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. Yeah, means now there are a few situations where Indian secularism can, okay, but it is kind of similar. US one is kind of similar, but I'm not saying it is totally same, but yeah, kind of similar. Indian Constitution intervened in Hindu religious practices in order to abolish untouchability, because that was a major cause for the discrimination between the caste and religions too. In the Indian secularism, though the state is not strictly separate from religion, it does maintain a principal distance vis-a-vis religion. This means that any interference in religion by state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the constitution. Now here, the Indian constitution has few set of rules which is totally kind of different from USA. In USA it is strict, but in Indian constitution they have to intervene. They have to kind of they have to kind of participate in the particular religious affairs when the particular kind of democracy is being affected. Getting my point? Yes. Now, the Indian Constitution guarantees fundamental rights that are based on these secular principles. However, this is not to say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society, because you will see everywhere, like in Hyderabad also Hindu Muslim fights go on, and in other states also Hindu Muslim fights go on. This is because some or the other way, like a misunderstanding which is being created between the two religions has been causing to such warfare and bloodshed. Okay, so like to prevent this Indian, religious domination, Indian state, the government of it will obviously work for it. Yes. So this is enough for the chapter 2, understanding secularism. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you and have a nice